everyone, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this is Garbage Horror Out of the Can for Frankie's Fun Park Laser Tag in Columbia, South Carolina. Kind of an odd one for us. We've been away for a few weeks.
Right.
Doing the whole holiday vacation thing. Visited your parents for a little while.
Yeah.
Made the trek out to South Carolina, my home state, to visit my parents and visit some of our old haunts. We lived out there for a few years. And one of the things we like to do a lot of was laser tag out there.
Imagine that after the last series that we really did think had ended.
Yeah, I know. Well, as part of this series, as part of our trip out there, rather, we wanted to go and play in our old arena, Frankie's Fun Park.
Right.
It's actually located closer to Irmo than Columbia, but it's in the Columbia City. One of those weird things. But long story short, wanted to pay it a visit, paid an homage, and
oh boy,
it's kind of depressing. It's really weird because my parents sort of emphasized to us that Frankie's hadn't changed any. Nothing was different in there.
Right.
They drove by it, and indeed, when you just drive by the place, it looks the exact same that it did 8 years ago when we were last there.
Right.
Inside is completely different. And one of the things that's completely different, 120% different, is the laser tag arena.
Yes.
Now, I remember when this arena was built.
Mm-hmm.
I actually got my start in another laser tag arena in South Carolina called Laser Storm. It was a little strip mall out in Irmo. Got my start there. Then they built the laser tag arena at Frankie's. They actually added on to the building, big, huge, 3-story attachment to the structure.
Right.
Incredible arena was in there.
Mm-hmm.
It was literally a 3-story arena. You
Right.
played in it many times. A 3-story arena with a very large tower in the corner, ramps going up to it, 3-team games, bases for each team,
Mm-hmm.
and incredibly varied gameplay. It really got me started in laser tag. It got me started with the strategy, the tactics,
Mm-hmm.
everything. Yes, Laser Storm was my first arena. Yes, that's where I won, a laser tag championship when I was younger. And yes, a lot of great things happened to me. But Frankie's was the arena in South Carolina I spent most of my time. It's where I was a member, where I was a ranked player,
Mm-hmm.
where I have most of my great memories.
And where you introduced me to laser tag.
Exactly, and where I got her hooked on it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And when we moved to New Orleans, we thought of Adventure Quest as being the most Frankie's-like arena.
Yes.
Very similar arena, 3 stories, bases for all the teams, a lot of good varied gameplay to be found in there. And now I think that that's still the most Frankie's-like arena, because as part of the renovations, they added this new playground unit. And unfortunately, that meant tearing out half of the laser tag arena.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing so, they completely redid everything in that arena. Nothing is the same.
No.
Literally nothing is the same in it. It's new equipment, new layout on the arena.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is brand spanking new, and unfortunately not for the better.
No, the arena kind of reminds me of a cross between the laser tag and games here and Spaceport.
Yeah, it's got...
Because the top ramp looks like the...
Yeah, it's got a very similar layout in some respects to laser tag games. It's got that top floor and a bottom floor.
Mm-hmm.
So in that floor you do have true 2-tiered gameplay.
Right.
But it's got the obstacles, those plastic wall obstacles from the Spaceport, which we absolutely abhorred there.
Right.
In fact, I think it's the exact same obstacles.
Yeah.
If not, it's probably by the same company.
It's the same ones.
It's
the Tron ones.
It's very, very close at the very least. The new equipment...
oh my God.
See, my biggest beef, as we got ready to leave, Frankie's had kind of been in a slow decline with this laser tag. And a big part of that was the equipment was deteriorating. They were using the same equipment that they were using at Adventure Quest.
Mm-hmm.
It was the exact same pack sets.
Right.
And as we talked about in our review with Adventure Quest, those were wearing down and breaking. Right. And the first thing to go was actually the members' functions. At first they stopped issuing new pins, and they stopped renewing old ones, and the old ones stopped working, and it's just the deterioration. The packs stopped working as reliably. It's just they got old, they were falling apart, they weren't being maintained, and so there was a slow deterioration there, and we had noticed that in our games.
It still wasn't very bad, but it was getting there.
It was easy to see how if they had continued, the equipment there would have been as bad as it was at Adventure Quest
before they did
the upgrade.
Yeah.
Which, still, great job on the upgrade at Adventure Quest, going after that again. But they've redone everything. Basically, the layout of this arena is you come in, It's one floor all the way across the bottom, and then there's a floor top that's kind of in the center. It's like a wide bridge.
It's a half floor.
It's a half floor. Yeah, it's a little. It's tall enough to go underneath, but that's about it. It's not. You're basically like 8 feet up at this point, at the most. That's completely different. Actually, I got ahead of us, so we should talk about the equipment first. Crystal, I know you've been dying to talk about this.
Okay, so the equipment sucks. That's pretty much the standard.
Yeah, problem here.
Problem. They decided that instead of using the two-handed gun or a one-handed gun, that they would use one that has little red buttons at the end of the barrel that you have to keep pinched.
Yeah, and this is a pretty wide barrel on these guns. I admit I have small-ish hands, but I was struggling to reach comfortably those buttons. Yeah. And at least on our guns, these were tiny buttons.
Yeah. I mean, even at Spaceport, I wasn't tired of the game 2 minutes into it.
Yeah.
You know, I was just ready to leave at that point.
Yeah, I'm pretty ambidextrous, so that gives me an upper hand in this situation. Because I'm just changing hands, because whatever hand was trying to pinch those buttons was cramping right through here the whole time. And in fact, you saw this as we left the arena. My left thumb, I was mostly using this hand, was twitching from all that pressure and all that force. So here and all the way down to the wrist, terrible pain. Could not even consider a second game. There was no way I could survive it. I barely made it the first one. Granted, I dominated the game.
Yeah.
I kicked ass.
Yeah.
But that was the other thing is no teams in this arena. Every man for himself. And there's no pack downtime. It's just basically a game of tag.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and that's just it. That wasn't explained going in. I figured it out by accident a couple minutes in.
Right.
When someone shot me twice when I thought I was down, like, hey, how'd you do that?
Yeah.
Oh. Then I realized there's no downtime. There's no reason not to keep shooting people.
Right.
And the way the score's rigged, there's no reason not to just keep there and shooting the same person over and over and over again.
Right. And you also can't shoot people if you're too close to them.
Yeah, exactly.
The marshal said there was a 5 feet rule.
Yeah, but I never actually saw that work. People shot me up close, and I shot them up close.
Yeah, we had a pretty close battle.
Yeah.
So.
And other kids, they would run up.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. The arena there is terrible. And, I mean, it's gotten to... It was one of the best arenas I'd ever played at.
Right.
And that's what makes it so depressing. It was a great arena with a very good balance of kids and birthday party crowd, members that showed up, members nights. It was a great place. It attracted laser tag players of all skills, all interest, and it was a lot of fun. And it was an arena that they were constantly working on keeping the balance and the flow. They would do things like add windows when they realized the tower was too powerful. They added windows on the second floor. They worked very hard to keep the balance and flow of that game perfect. And it worked.
Right.
They did a very good job. There was always a new surprise in that arena. And now it's gone. Destroyed.
Yeah.
Wiped out. And people like me who were passionate about Frankie's now have no reason to ever go back.
No. Except the mini golf is still fun.
The mini golf has done change. Thankfully. I mean, it really was a frustrating experience for me because we constantly, here in New Orleans when we lived here, we would, sort of look back on those as the golden days of laser tag for us. And they're no more.
No.
They got rid of it. And I understand that a lot of that was obviously a money decision. They felt this playground could bring in more money with the space they had. I understand that. But one of the reasons their laser tag arena was not bringing in money was because they screwed over the members like us that were there every weekend paying lots of money to play.
Right.
I mean, God, even just you and me, how much money did we fork over to them for laser tag?
Too much.
Way too much. Ridiculous amounts. I mean, it was to the point there for a while I was getting Frankie's gift cards for Christmas. Because people, well, we know you play laser tag there, son. There you go. I mean, so we spent a ridiculous amount of money. Now we're not going to spend any. And they've made that decision to cater solely to the birthday crowd. And as such, I have to agree, the laser tag probably had to be reduced, had to be scaled back.
Yeah. You
could get another attraction in that space. It was probably a good move just because of the audience they chose to target.
Right.
And all in all, I guess what I want to say is the glory days at Frankie's laser tag are gone. If you are a laser tag player that's passing through Columbia, Has heard us mention Frankie's casually in the other. I know we talked about it briefly in some of the other reviews. I'm sorry, guys. It's not worth it. Don't go. It's a terrible arena right now. It's completely been botched. The equipment is in terrible shape. The arena itself is boring and uninteresting. The game does not require any strategy or any skill to be that matter. There's nothing there in this arena to make it truly fun unless you're a kid wanting to run around and shoot people and play a game of tag. That's the audience it appeals to. If you're that person, aren't you a little young to be on this site?
Probably.
Probably. You might want to get your parents' permission before watching any of the other videos.
Yeah.
You got any other thoughts? I know this one's been mostly me because I'm the one with all the memories here. But any final thoughts here?
No.
Well, on that note, everyone, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this was Garbage Horror out of the can for Frankie's Fun Park in Columbia, South Carolina. Sorry this was a little bit of a bummer for our first one back. We'll try to do something more upbeat next week.